Not so much media coming in at the moment from Iran, but what we do have is some really interesting stuff on who's following what online in Iran and how it translates perhaps into political support. We're looking at some research done by Harvard University of the way the Iranian blogosphere breaks down. Blogs being web logs, to the rest of us diaries if you like. Basically who blogs, what they blog on and what blogs they search for. What I would stress is this research was carried out just before the vote, but it still does give us a very interesting breakdown. Have a look at this first. The way I'm going to describe it is it's like a fancy pie chart, a 3D pie chart of the blogosphere, and it shows some different groups there which they've broken the bloggers down into, i.e. the people who are writing and what they're searching for as well. Now we can show it to you on the computer here. We can break it down a little bit, run some animation for you, so let's try that now. There's the full picture as you saw it just before. It starts down here, the secular, expatriates are interested in things like women's rights, political prisoners, they're quite prolific, as are the reformists, they're very prolific as well. These are probably the Mousavi supporters, interested in politics, using current affairs and journalism. Religious ones over here, religious youth, obviously, young religious discussion, and the cyber Shias as well, intensely religious there. You've got one group we call mixed networks, which is kind of everyone, you know, football, music, whatever you like, whatever they want to blog about. And one more group, which is an interesting one, the poets actually, prolific poetry blogging in Iran as well. So that's, we'll just bring back the main view. So that's all of them, but it's when we put a political slant in it, it gets a little more interesting. First, Ahmadinejad. These are not necessarily his supporters, but certainly his followers. They're conservatives. You see the intense red ones there, but not so many. It's a small amount of people blogging about Ahmadinejad and looking for information about President Ahmadinejad. Conversely, you look at Mousavi, and there's a lot more. Certainly in the reformists, obviously the green ones, the poets are apparently interested in Mousavi, as well as some of the religious groups as well. But that's where you see how much more online support and how much more prolific the online support and followers are for Mr. Mousavi. But of course, not just those in Iran using the internet in this manner. If you're talking about the online world effectively, you can't go past Barack Obama in the White House right now. You will have seen the US president speaking on Iran during the news, but there is still a lot of chatter about one particular question which he answered. It came from the influential blog, the Huffington Post, which is something in itself, but it actually originated, the question actually originated from a citizen in Iran. They posted a question on the Huffington Post website, and then that was relayed, if you like, directly to President Obama. It's quite extraordinary. Have a look.
Well, I know that you and all across the internet, we've been seeing a lot of reports coming directly out of Iran. I know that there may actually be questions from people in Iran who are communicating through the internet. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to use this opportunity to ask you a question directly from an Iranian. We solicited questions last night from people who were still courageous enough to be communicating online, and one of them wanted to ask you this. Under which conditions would you accept the election of Ahmadinejad? And if you do accept it without any significant changes in the conditions there, isn't that a betrayal of what the demonstrators there are working towards?
Well, look, we didn't have international observers on the ground. We can't say definitively what exactly happened at polling places throughout the country. What we know is that a sizable percentage of the Iranian people themselves, spanning Iranian society, consider this election illegitimate.
You know, we've been showing that clip quite a bit today, but it really is quite something. I don't know if you heard when the question was actually being asked by the journalist, there was lots of snapping of cameras there. You could probably hear them in the background, because I think people realise this is a real watershed moment. A citizen in Iran asked a question to the President of the United States. And even more so when you think about it, particularly when the Huffington Post has subsequently disclosed that the White House had actually called them and asked for that citizen question from Iran. They put in the call and said, you know, you're doing good work on your website. We want to hear from someone in Iran. Actually, I think someone called Michael Tomasky, who writes for Britain's Guardian newspaper, summed it up really nicely in a blog that he writes on the Guardian website. He said, it's worth reflecting on the fact of this. This is a moment. It's kind of an amazing thing for this anonymous, so far, Iranian, sitting at home last night in Tehran or Shiraz or wherever it was, minding his or her own business, could convey a question to a journalist halfway across the world, and that the question would end up being conveyed to the President of the United States. And of course it didn't stop there either. It went online after that. Not YouTube, viral we're talking here. We're actually talking on the White House website. I'll bring it up for you here so you can see. whitehouse.gov, and if I click right there, front page, Iran. 6 pictures of Barack Obama, fair enough, but Iran is on the front page there, and when you click watch the video, it takes you through to this page where you can watch the video. It's 3 minutes worth of President Obama speaking about Iran. It's got Farsi subtitles there. It's got a full English transcript, it's got a full Farsi transcript, and there's even a link to an Arabic transcript. So clearly, President Obama realizing that this is a very important issue and really trying to reach out to those in Iran. We're trying to reach out to you in Iran as well. If you've got a good internet connection, I know it's difficult at the moment, but if you've got an internet connection, you've got some video which you want to send out to us, recent video as well, something new which we perhaps haven't seen in the last 24 hours, I'll quickly show you how to do it before we leave you. aljazeera.net/English is our main web page. You scroll down to the right-hand side, there's Your Media, Iran 09. Click there. It takes you through to the Your Media page, and that's where you can upload your content. And the really important thing when you upload your content is to tell us who you are, where exactly you are in Iran, and most importantly, where the video or the pictures, if you're sending us stills, where it was taken and when it was taken, because we've got to put it in some sort of context, particularly as over this day, Wednesday, we really haven't seen a lot of content. It is all a bit out of context at the moment. Another hit from the Iran desk at 1800 GMT in the next news hour. That'll be with Nazanin Mashiri. For now, it's back to Darren.